Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today, the 7th of November 2013. So this is going to be a little bit of a quicker show. The reason for that is because I'm still in the sort of full Warlords of Draenor coverage. So that's really the main focus of the channel for the next while. But of course, when news happens, I will cover it, and there has been some very good news for the game, actually. We've recently just got the Activision Blizzard Quarter 3 earnings call, and I'm going to tell you the highlights and the general things. Now, the biggest bit of news for us World of Warcraft people is that the game has lost 100,000 subscribers, taking it to 7.6 million, down from 7.7 million last quarter. Now, honestly, I think this is absolutely terrific performance for the game. Some of the great things about this are, well, before this we were losing like 600k at a time plus. The losses were massive. Hell, at even one point we lost 1.3 million. To take that down to 100,000 people, that does show serious, a seriously good job. Now, things that I think would have contributed to this are numerous, but I think that there's just been a very solid increase in quality from the game, from patch 5.2 onwards. The way that in 5.3 and 5.4 they've, I suppose, de-emphasized dailies in quite a major way. I think that very much helps towards it, and just in general I feel like the game is better, the raid content's better, they're adding in content for a lot of people, flexible raiding. I'm not too sure if 5.4 will have a giant effect on these numbers though. I'm not exactly sure what period of time this earnings call covers, but yeah, it's hard to know still. I think overall this is absolutely fantastic news for the game. It just shows like that going into the future now, perhaps Blizzard will be able to turn it around. If they keep on doing high quality content and then the sort of kick up the arse that a new expansion will give the game, I just have a feeling that perhaps we'll raise again. I don't think we'll raise very far. Maybe if the game hovers around 8 million, I think that would be extremely, very, very good performance. So yeah, overall, very good news. Now, other things to talk about are Diablo 3, Heroes of the Storm, Starcraft 2, stuff like that. So Diablo 3 has sold over 14 million copies across all platforms, which is quite good for it. That's a lot of money for Blizzard. And I'd be very curious to know how Diablo 3 is going to do with Reaper of Souls, especially now that they're making loot make a lot more sense, and overall they're just basically making it more Diablo 2-ish. Jay Wilson's gone, they have a new lead, like a guy at the helm of the game, and it definitely seems like he's taking it in a different direction, and I'd say a much better, much more consumer-friendly, and just player-friendly version of the game. At the end of the day, it seems far more dark, far more Diablo 2 style, and that just makes me really happy, because Diablo 2 is never a game that I was able to play when it was new, so I'd love to have a similar experience, I suppose just at the correct time when the game's new and fresh. I think I'd really like that. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty positive about the Diablo franchise. Also, like, just especially the death of the auction house when Reaper of Souls comes. Now, it's slated for 2014 for the PC and PS4. Don't know anything about the Xbone, but whatever. I suppose we'll find out at some point if it is going to come. Honestly, I don't know though. As for other properties, well, the other main property, Starcraft 2, was the #1 PC game for the first 9 months of 2013. Now, I don't really know if this is #1 sales in total because it's very hard to gauge digital sales, but I'm going to guess this is a mixture of their internal digital sales and just any like store sales. Now, of course, I don't really think this is a very worthwhile metric, because if you take something like Steam doesn't report the amount of sales that games get, so I don't think this is really a reasonable comparison. Still, it's nice to see Starcraft 2 is going well, but that said, Starcraft is in decline because of just how awfully Blizzard have been supporting. I know a lot of people are going to talk about WCS being a good thing. It has butchered so much of the competitive scene for the game, and it's done a lot of damage. Blizzard did it in a very heavy-handed way. There was a lot of systems that weren't well implemented, and honestly, looking at the stream numbers for StarCraft 2 tournaments, it just goes to show how Blizzard need to do something really meaningful to invigorate this game and get it going again. The other thing, of course, is Heroes of the Storm, and that's coming, and basically on the earnings call they said that they are... that it's a new free-to-play online hero brawler, so they didn't call it a MOBA, which makes me happy, because MOBA is a really stupid name, and it's being showcased at BlizzCon, and they also said formerly known as Blizzard All-Stars. That's probably just more so the investors understand. This game could be big. If Blizzard do a good job of making it accessible and stuff like that, it will be very good. There is a direct quote from an internal Blizzard person saying that they want it to be the Super Smash Bros. Of the genre, and I think that is the exact direction they need to go with the game. So this is really great news, I think. And Heroes of the Storm, honestly, I'm not a big MOBA person, because first, I think they are I think a lot of the difficulty is based on needless complexity. It's not really skill. It's more just you need to know so much shit about heroes and what order to buy things. Then when I did play LoL, I thought it was really easy, and then when I played Dota, I just got pissed off at the fact that you always got put in a group with people that were crap, and you lose the game, and it just wasn't a fun experience, and it was literally 40 minutes of your life wasted. Well, this is Super Smash Bros. Style. I think it could really kick off very nicely. And then also for Hearthstone, they just said, it's a new free-to-play digital collectible card game, blah blah blah. The closed beta test has been received enthusiastically, and they're driving towards open beta. Speaking of the Hearthstone beta, the person who won the key contest will get an email, well not an email, a YouTube mail tomorrow, so if you did enter that, it's now closed, so if you do enter now, you won't be able to win, but if you did enter that, then be sure to check your email. I'll probably wait 2 days before I deem the person's just, I don't know, not interested, and then I'll go again. As for general stuff with Activision Blizzard, well, they did very well this year with with revenues of 691 million, which was definitely up from expectations, and they're actually raising their full 2013 year outlook. In terms of other things that have happened with the company, they split from Vivendi. Essentially, Vivendi is a French conglomerate, and they tried to siphon funds out of Activision Blizzard, which was one of their only, I suppose, solidly profitable elements, I suppose. And eventually, they just decided, this is not good. We are getting money siphoned out by this parent company. It's damaging Activision Blizzard. So they decided to buy out all their shares, and this has ended up working. And the transaction was funded by 4.75 billion in new debt and 1.2 billion of cash in hand. So honestly, this company's looking very solid at the minute. Call of Duty is, as always, Call of Duty. I think it's probably on the decline a tiny bit. Skylanders is a very popular franchise. Destiny's probably going to be quite big, and for Blizzard they have Hearthstone, Reaper of Souls coming up, World of Warcraft expansion coming up, and Heroes of the Storm. There's just so much coming from these guys. It's quite fantastic, which is good because honestly, you want Blizzard to do well. Well, you want Blizzard to do well, but you also want them to have plenty of competition, because competition is what keeps companies on their toes, because they're forced to compete or else they won't make any money. Now finally, for today's news, we have some Connected Realms updates. Because there's about 50 million of them, and I don't want to destroy my brain by trying to pronounce them all, I'm just going to put up the EU and US things on the screen. But really, that's it for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. To all the new people, by the way, I suppose I should probably remind you, and honestly it would have made more sense to do this at the top of the show, but whatever. I do this show nearly every day. Well, yeah, every day. And the only reason why it hasn't been going regularly the last few days is because of Warlords of Draenor. I've just been so damn busy doing coverage for it. So anyway, that's really it for me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a like, because it really does help me out. And I'll see you next time.